We are a short 3 weeks away from the start of hurricane season. Let's welcome Dr. Giammanco, lead research meteorologist for the Insurance Institute for Business and Home Safety, with more on ways to help us prepare. It's great to have you. And of course, here we are embarking on yet another hurricane season, and it's important for all of us and for new development to be sticking to codes. You just released your 5th report. Tell us a little bit more about some of those codes as they apply to South Carolina.
Yeah, this is our 5th edition of our Rating the States report, which is really meant to assess the building code system that our hurricane-prone states have. And South Carolina comes in at number 3. They are in our top category. They've been at number 3 for 4 editions. South Carolina has a wonderful building code system, not just in terms of code adoption, which affects really all of us in the state, especially our coastal counties, but they also have one of the best code official training programs in the United States, which is a testament to the work the state has put in to improve that entire system of protection, which goes from the codes all the way to the code officials who do our building inspections, as well as the contractors who are building our buildings. Right. It covers it all.
Now, are we looking at higher prices for everything? I mean, we have inflation, of course, upon us, but also just higher costs to adhere to these codes? Or is there any incentive, anything coming back to the people who are building?
So with South Carolina being pretty much on an updated code cycle, and they have been for a while, we're looking at very little cost change from what it has been really over the past decade. So in South Carolina, this is really not as much of an impact as it can be for some other states that may have skipped a code cycle or jumped to the latest codes, which could change the cost picture a little bit. But that's one of the key building blocks as we look at sort of maintaining, one, a good insurance market for all of us in the state, but also having that system of protection that it has longevity, right? It's been a part of our world for some time now. And that's also a great way that we keep costs manageable.
Yeah, well, it's true. Can you talk at all about the fact that there are a lot of insurers who are leaving the state of South Carolina? Of course, with increased risk, you are going to have people making more claims, but we still need insurers to cover us. How do you reconcile fewer insurers and still more people who need to be insured?
And when we look at really some epic hurricane seasons of the last decade, it's put a lot of cost pressure on property insurers. And each company has to decide how they want to handle their risk, how much policies they have in a certain area. But there are some things we can do. I mentioned the building blocks of a good code regime is absolutely a piece of that puzzle. But there's also some extra things that you can do that go above code, such as looking at our IBHS Fortified home standard, which is an added set of protections for your roof if you're re-roofing or building new. And in a lot of cases, in South Carolina is one of them, you can find some really good insurance discounts, not just about getting coverage. You could get some discounts on your homeowner's policy by going to those above code protections. So that's a place for homeowners to look. But we'll see what this hurricane season has to offer. But I would say South Carolina, with its great system of building codes, we're in good shape heading into what could be an active season.
Yeah, and we're expecting it to be so. So for homeowners and for business owners as well, people who own commercial property, what are some of the steps that they can do now, maybe to mitigate any future expense, maybe starting for the next year?
Yeah, if we look, heading into this season or next, one, for homeowners, if you find yourself needing to re-roof, it's a great time to make a big change to your home. So think about going to our IBHS Fortified roof standard. But there's some little things too around the home and your business too. Look for those trees that overhang roof systems. Trees can come down, unfortunately, in winds that wouldn't ordinarily even damage our structures. So get those trimmed back away from the structure. And then the second piece is making sure water can get away from our buildings, whether that's cleaning your gutters on your own home or your business. Say you have a flat roof system, making sure those drains up on the roof system are clear and clean so water can easily flow away from the structure. Water coming in our homes, regardless of whatever mechanism it is not good, and it can amplify those damages in dollars by times 10.
What are some of the most common claims?
Yeah, so interior water and roof damage, those are the two big ones that really drive a lot of the losses. There's some estimates that even just typical interior water, 1 in 60 homeowners over the last 2 decades have had to file interior water claim. And then our roof system. It's the first line of defense for any severe weather, and so it starts at the roof.
It does. It starts at the top. Well, Dr. Giammanco, thank you so much for joining us. Really good information. And for people who want to learn a little bit more and to know what kind of codes that they should be kept abreast of, where should they go?
Yeah, folks, head to IBHS.org for all the work we do at IBHS. IBHS.org/hurricane ready has all the tips. And then lastly, if you want to look up where you live and your building code that you're under, the Federal Alliance for Safe Homes has a great website called Inspect to Protect. You can find that on the web, inspecttoprotect.org, and you can figure out what code your home was built under.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Good to see you. We're back.
Thanks for having me.
After this.